출애굽기 26장. Exodus chapter 26. Make the tabernacle with the 10 centurion curtains of the finely twisted linen and blue, purple and the scarlet yarns with the cherubims worked into them by a skilled craftsman. All the curtains are to be at the same size, 28 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. Join 5 of the curtains together and do the same with the other 5. Make loops of the blue material along the edges of the end curtains in one set, and the same with the end curtains in the other set. Make 50 loops on one curtain and 50 loops on the end curtains of the other set. With the loops opposite each other, then make 50 gold clasps and use them to fasten the curtains together so that the tabernacle is on unit. Make curtains of goat's hairs for the tent over tabernacles 11 altogether. All the 11 curtains are to be the same size, 30 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. Join the 5 of the curtains others, then set by the other 6 into another set. Fold the 6 curtains double at the front of the tent. Make 50 loops along the edges of the end curtains in the one set and all along the edge of the end curtains in the other set. Then make 50 bronze clasps and then in the loops to fasten the tent together as a unit. As for the additional length of the tent curtains, the half curtain that is left over is to hang down at the rear of the tabernacle. The tent curtains will be 2 cubits longer on both sides. What is left will hang over the side of the tabernacle so as to cover it. Make for the tent the covering of ram's skins dyed red and over that the covering of hides of sea cows. Make upright frames of acacia wood for the tabernacle. Each frame is to be 10 cubits long and a cubit and a half wide. With the 2 projections set parallel to each other, make all the frames of the tabernacle in this way. Make 20 frames for the south side of the tabernacles and make 40 silver bases to go under them, 2 bases for each frames, 1 under each projections. For the other side, the north side of the tabernacles, make 20 frames and 40 silver bases, 2 under each frame. Make 6 frames for the far ends, that is the west end of the tabernacles, and make 2 frames for the corners at the far end. At these 2 corners, they must be doubled from the bottoms all the way to the top, and fitted into the single rings. Both shall be it like that. So there will be 8 frames and 16 silver bases, 2 under each frame. Also make crossbars of acacia wood, 5 for the frames on one side of the tabernacles, 5 for those on the other side, and 5 for the frames on the west. At the far end of the tabernacles, at the center's cross is to extend them from end to end to the middles of the frames. Overlays to the frames with gold and make gold rings to hold the crossbars. Also overlays the crossbars with gold to set up the tabernacles according to the plans shown you to the mountains. Make curtains of blues, purples, and scarlet yarns and finely twisted linen with the cherubims worked into it by the skilled craftsman, hanging with gold hooks on the 4 posts and acacia wood overlaid with gold and standing on the 4 silver bases. Hang the curtains from the clamps and the presses or the ark of the testimony behind the curtain. The curtain will separate the holy place from the most holy place. Put the atonement covers on the ark of the testimony in the most holy place. Place the tables outside the curtains on the north side of the tabernacles and put the lampstand opposite to the side. For the entrance to the tents, make the curtains of blue, purple, and scarlet yarns and finely twisted linen, the work of the embroiderers. Make gold hooks for these curtains and the 5 posts of acacia wood overlaid with the gold, and cast the 5 bronze bases for them.